The framework I'd like to describe in this clip is called the value curve. Now, the value curve comes from a book called Blue Ocean Strategy, and it's a very simple little framework, one that I think you can probably pick up just by looking at this video, and then we'll look forward to applying it when you come to Ashridge. You'll see one in front of you as an example, and for the sake of simplicity, I've simply copied one from the book so that if you're interested in the value curve, you can go back, buy the Blue Ocean Strategy book and explore a little bit more about it. Basically what it consists of is the elements of the product or the service that really matter to the customer. And those are shown along the x-axis here. So those things are completely driven by what the customer wants. They're not driven by what you as an organization do. They're simply customer needs. So to think about those, you need to put yourself in the shoes of the customer and imagine what would you want from this particular product or service. So the example that is shown here is for big bookstores. So one of the things you'd want to do is to be able to buy books at a low price. And what you see on the y-axis is you can have a high or you can have a low level on each of these elements. In this case, Borders and Barnes & Noble offer the lowest price. So that's good. You want to buy things at a low price. But that's not the only thing you want. You may also want knowledgeable staff and the advice that comes from them about what books you might find interesting. And here, Barnes & Noble, because they're bigger and they have better training programs in general, score very highly. And in fact, when you look across this particular value curve, you'll see that Barnes & Noble at the time and Borders offered basically a superior product service offering to any of the competitors because they were the lowest price and they outperformed the competitors on all the other elements. So this is, if you like, a perfect value curve. Now, not all value curves are like that. If you look at this next one, for Body Shop, you'll see that, yes, it has a low price, that's good, but it actually underperforms competitors on many dimensions and then outperforms them on some other dimensions. Now, here the idea is it's not always necessary to outperform on all dimensions. Sometimes by cutting back, you can improve things for customers because cutting back means you cut back on your own costs and that contributes to lowering the price. So one thing that the Body Shop was doing was eliminating some of the packaging, the advertising, some of the glitz and the glamour, but in return giving you better value for money. The other thing they were doing was spending some of the money they saved on more environmentally sustainable raw materials and so on. So they are offering a certain segment of the market something different from the traditional cosmetics business. So you can see from this example that you don't always need to outperform on all dimensions. Think, for example, of budget airlines. They certainly underperform on a lot of the elements, but in return you get a very low price. So that's a deal that a lot of customers find very attractive, particularly for short-haul flights. So it's not as simple as saying, well, we always have to outperform our competitors. You have to think carefully about what customers want. You have to think about which things they value the most. You have to compare your product service offering to the competitors. And then, as we'll discuss on the course, think of what improvements you could make to improve the value you're offering or lower the price that you charge customers by lowering your own costs. So it's a simple little framework. We'll bring it to life by getting you to apply it to a real organization on the program. Look forward to seeing you there.